I'm Deacon Kelly Jensen. Thank you for tuning in again to the Barefoot Deacon. Today I want to share with you a story from my childhood. When I was in the summer after third grade, I think it was, a friend of mine had invited me to go to vacation Bible school at her church. And I had only ever been to the one church most of my life. I grew up United Methodist. And we go to this vacation Bible school, and we had a really simple assignment. It was a coloring sheet. It had a picture of Jesus, and at the top it said Savior, and at the bottom it said Friend. The directions were this: color Jesus, and then circle if you think Jesus is your Savior or your friend. So I immediately circled Friend because Jesus is my friend, and I started to color Jesus. The girl across the table from me leaned over and she said, you need to change your answer. You got it wrong. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she said, you have the wrong answer. You want to change that. You don't want to get it marked wrong. I'm like, are you trying to tell me that Jesus is not my friend? She's like, Savior is the right answer. Make sure you I'm trying to help you here. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. You don't get to tell me who Jesus is to me. So it got a little loud enough that the teacher had to come over. I seriously thought I was going to throw it down with this girl in a Sunday school classroom in a little church in Menominee, Wisconsin. And the teacher had to come over and she's like, what's the problem, girls? And I said, I think Jesus is my friend. And the girl across from me said, I don't think that's the right answer. And the teacher said something that has always stuck with me. There is no wrong answer. There is still no wrong answer. We live in a world today where Christianity has sort of gone like this, and people have different ideas about who Jesus is, what Jesus did, what's the important part of his message, on and on and on. I didn't know anything in the third grade about liberal or conservative or right wing or left wing. I didn't know any of that. All I knew is who Jesus was to me. And that's a very personal thing. And I really still believe there is no wrong answer. But we live in a culture now where the two sides of this debate, or whatever you want to call it, they're not listening to each other anymore. They're not talking to each other anymore. They're being their own separate things. But we are still followers of Christ. So how do we solve that? Be curious and listen. Those are the two things I would recommend in any conversation with anybody who believes in a different way than you do. If I had stopped to say to the girl across from me, what makes you think Jesus is the Savior? I might have learned something that day. But instead I shut down and said, no, you don't get to tell me what the answer is for me. Nobody gets to tell you what the answer is for you. Your relationship with Jesus and with God is personal to you. So I hope when you are faced with a similar situation that you have a little bit more maturity than I did in the third grade and don't just want to go to battle with somebody you don't agree with. Be curious and listen. Really listen to why they think the way they do. Because inside, we're all the same. And I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes. It's by Rumi, and it says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. This is the Barefoot Deacon, and I hope you have a wonderful week.